This segment is brought to you by the Vancouver International Jazz Festival, kicking off summer in the city for 40 years. Well, we're back here at Armory Studios for the second installment in our series on the upcoming Vancouver International Jazz Festival. Joining us now, an artist, musician who's been part of the festival landscape for nearly a quarter of a century, Torsten Muller. Thank you for joining us, sir.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You're quite welcome. I have to ask you right off the bat, we'll get to what you're going to be doing in the festival this year, but you've been part of the festival, as I said, for nearly a quarter of a century. Talk about the festival itself and how it's evolved. You've seen it from, as I said, 25 years.
25 years, yeah. We moved to Vancouver in 2001, and I had known Ken Pickering, the artistic director, previously. I played here with my own group in 1986, just the year the festival started. Mm-hmm. So we hadn't really kept in contact that much, but I told him in 2001, Kenny, I'm moving to Vancouver. His answer was, why would you want to do that?
Okay, it's 86 too, that's okay.
So then here we are, and he quickly arranged for me to be part, even though it was very short notice, he arranged for me to have a couple of gigs on the festival in 2001, so we arrived, and I was immediately taken by the warmth and generosity of the music community in this city. Yeah, okay. The musicians, the people, the organizers, the volunteers. I had not experienced anything like that in Europe. In Europe, things are more professional, maybe, one could say. There's more money involved.
Okay, is there a distance, though, too, between, say, the musicians and the artists in the European festivals? Like in terms of like less closeness, I guess you might say?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I would say for sure. It's more of a culture of you are the consumer, you listened, you pay, and then you go home. Here, you could tell that I met many of the long-standing festival visitors.
Right,
and these are people, they came from Chicago, they came from the East Coast, they came from San Francisco, LA, New Mexico, and they came every year. These people were happy to come to Vancouver because it was the only festival in North America of this size that also featured a large European contingent. Mm. Kenny had always, that was his thing, right? Bringing European musicians in. So that was kind of unique for a North American festival. So it attracted all the fans of more outside music, if you will. Mm-hmm. So there was a very strong sense of camaraderie and community here between the musicians, the festival goers, the organizers, and the volunteers. Everyone knew each other. Mm-hmm. It was a fantastic feeling, and I was like, man, this is amazing. I had no idea. So I was happy, and then Kenny asked me if I would be interested in co-curating Time Flies with him, because that was it was his baby, right?
His baby, okay.
He had seen this in London. Derek Bailey had organized a thing called Company Week, where he brought musicians from different genres, different types of jazz and improvised music together, and over a series of evenings, put them together in little random curated groups, duos and trios. So we did the same thing. Mm. And it wasn't all hardcore improvisers or people for who that was their major artistic vehicle. Mm-hmm. So it had really interesting results all over the spectrum, quite surprising results. And now that we're reviving this year, it's going to be like that again. A lot of the people have not so much experience in playing contemporary improvised music, if you want to call it that. So then there's some veterans who have been doing this for all their lives. And it'll be my job to put them together in various constellations and see that we make surprising and interesting music out of this.
We should say, Time Flies, you mentioned, 3 nights for this.
Yes.
Thursday, June 26th, Friday the 27th, Saturday the 28th, the review stage, 11:30. When you're putting these ensembles together, I'm looking at what I'd seen in the past. You're looking at about 4 or 5 musicians that will be there with you?
I think we have a different set of musicians every night. Mm-hmm. And if I'm not mistaken, it's more like between 6 and 9.
Okay.
So we're not going to have a break. It'll be, because it starts at 11:30. It'll be a continuous thing. So people want to get to bed, including myself. So we will not have a break, and I will put together duos of different groups within these 6, and it'll be different ones every night.
One of the things I heard you say, you were just in the studio playing, and you said that with your expertise in this particular genre of music, that you actually find it more enjoyable to play for people, say, in a promenade around a mall or something, where the people don't have very little experience in what you perform compared to, say, sitting with hardcore jazz experts?
I do. I love it when people have a completely open mind and are not, how should I put it, biased through, academic endeavor and whatnot. And people have a completely open mind and let the music affect them on a more emotional, visceral level, instead of people who have read such and such bass player is the man of the hour, and such trumpet player is like the hottest new thing. This can only be good, and so on and so forth, and have all sorts of reasons for coming to the reactions and conclusions that they come to.
Pardon the interruption, but would the phrase be that they're not coming in with, say, preconceived thoughts, expertise, notions?
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
Tell us a little bit more about what people can experience this night. You talked about rotating musicians, but as I said, you're known as an improvisation bassist.
Yes.
And so for people coming and staying up late, as you said, what can they experience?
Surprises, mainly surprises. Some musicians come more from the sort of more mainstream jazz field. Some of the young up-and-coming Vancouver musicians might be some people who don't really have much experience playing improvised music. Some of the names have been suggested to me. I did not know some of these names that we're going to have, so I'm going to have to do some YouTubing myself to see what I think fits together.
Right.
But some of them, like, say, Jerry Hemingway, he's a world-class percussionist who was there in 2001 at my first time flies already. He lives in Switzerland. He'll be here, so it's kind of like circle comes around. And, Jerry can make anything work with anyone. So you'll get surprises. You'll get musicians with a wealth of experience and knowledge with their own unique voice to work with people who maybe are new to this and conjure up some magic that way. We'll see.
This is a great story. Hey, it's been great to have you on, especially here at the Armory Studios. Torsten Muller will be, look for him on Thursday, 26th of June, 27th, 28th. Time flies. He is the host and co-curator. More information, coastaljazz.ca. Torsten, thank you.
My pleasure.
This segment was brought to you by the Vancouver International Jazz Festival, kicking off summer in the city for 40 years.